Hey guys, it's Justin here. I promised you 2 videos this week to show you 2 examples of a very low risk trade setup that we use in our trade room every morning. So real quick here, just want to set the stage for the trade we're going to talk about here. We were in somewhat of a downtrend. We're looking at the end of the day of Friday of last week. So we're looking at Friday, December 17th, 2021. Made a high here around 11 a.m. Pacific, right around 46, 47 up here, and then started to sell off and make lower lows and lower highs. As you can see, we've got our pink line up here, our VWAP. We were holding it for a while, and then eventually we kind of found resistance and found it and then started selling lower. And so I want to share with you a trade example that we would have used in the room here. So as we started to break below VWAP and we were making lower highs and lower lows, it was pretty clear that we were potentially beginning this downtrend. So we wanted to look for shorts. Now if you look at the most local leg, the leg that actually broke through the VWAP and came down to this lower low here, we can go ahead and throw a fib up here. And there are a number of fibs we could be looking at as far as this retracement back up in price. We have the entire retracement from the high all the way down, but we also have this local leg, and this is something we talk about in the trade room. We have the local leg right here from this high down to this low. And so as price pushed back up, what I'm noticing here is that my 61.8 retracement is lining up with the VWAP. And this is one of our textbook trade setups, having an alignment of not only VWAP and the 61.8 retracement, but we do also have some pretty obvious strong support in the market right off that level as well. If we go all the way back to just about 11:55 a.m. Pacific time here, we did come down and make that low, and that level ended up holding right here. It ended up holding as resistance right there, and then again we're sitting here right in alignment with the VWAP and the 61.8. So as we push up into this area, what I'm looking for is not only the test of that level, but I'm looking for a signal. And so as we push in, many of you who are in the room already know, a lot of times we push into a level and I say, what I'd like to see here, if I don't see a divergence right away, is for price to maybe pull back just very shallow and then come up and retest it, or maybe break just a little bit higher, and then if we get the signal, it'll be time to get short and look for that expectation lower. And so what we had happen here is basically essentially that. The market came up, let me just get rid of all that stuff. Market came up and retested the level. And let me just zoom in. So pull back about a point, came right back up, and this is what I'm talking about, a test, if not a break above the level. And if we push higher here, and RVI is pushing lower, like what we see right here, that is my signal to go ahead and try it short. And let's just say I am a little bit late. Maybe I don't get in at the high tick, but I get in, say, 1 tick below VWAP here. So let's go ahead and put an arrow in. Let's say I get short at 27.75. Now let's zoom in a little bit more here. Say I got short right where that line is at 27.75. The swing high here is 28.50. Technically, this level, if it's going to work, and we talk about this every day in the trade room, if a level is going to work, typically it's going to hold within a point and a half, and it's going to go. If that doesn't happen, then it's not the type of trade that we want to be in. And you can see here, your entry is 27.75. Your stop will want to go right above that high, because now, at this point with the bearish signal, it needs to move from this level or else we're out of the trade. And so my stop would have been 1 tick or 2 ticks above the swing high at 28.50, meaning that I'm taking on just about a point to a point and a half of risk for potential downside, looking for at least 5 and 10 points, and then having a runner for even more. And so what ended up happening here was it did sell off, never came back up to test not only where my entry was, but the swing high of that move, and the market went ahead and sold off and broke the low of that leg up to push even lower, and ended up going over 20 points to the downside. So this is just one great example of a trade that we take in our room, a test of VWAP being the 61.8 retrace with a nice local bearish divergence. And again, this is a trade that takes less than 2 points of risk for the potential of anywhere from 5 to 100 points. So I'll be back here tomorrow with another trader bite where I can show you one more low risk trade example that we use in our trade room every morning. And Day Trade Like a Pro is also going to be offering a nice deal for anyone who wants to join us in the trade room and for our weekly study sessions. So just stay tuned for that. And again, I'll be back here tomorrow, and hope you guys at least learned something today. So have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.